All right, you guys, welcome back. We are on chapter 8 today, which is going to be isolation, creating fans, and application. It's a lot, so let's get into it. Lesson 8.1 is isolation. Isolation is, they're all such important skill sets to have and things to know, but it is one of the most important things, especially when you're first starting out, to pay attention to, because if you do not isolate correctly, you will get stickies, there will be damage, and that is how clumps of lashes occur, which are really bad for the natural lashes, because if you're clumping multiple lashes together on one fan, or fans are getting clumped together, the natural lash cannot grow at the rate that it needs to, and it'll be tugging it, so it's very unhealthy for the natural lashes. So what exactly is isolation? Isolation is literally where you're gonna use a tweezer. Most of the time it's going to be in your not dominant hand, and it's going to be either straight or curved like we talked about, and the whole point of isolation is being able to get one natural lash in between the tweezers so that you can put the fan or the classic lash on knowing that it's not going to touch anything else. So it is the technique of separating a single natural lash from all the others using your isolation tweezer. Isolation is super important because it prevents stickies, it promotes healthy natural growth, creates clean, fluffier finishes for the set, boosts client comfort. It's really painful when a lash is being pulled and it's still in there, but it's being pulled against its natural cycle. That really hurts, and then it builds your reputation, because that really is what people look for when they're looking at the health of the extensions. Obviously, there's the weight and the amount that you're putting on, but isolation is one that you can tell right away. I would say when you're first starting out, isolation is the hardest technique to do or thing to do. So definitely take your time, don't rush it. That is what's gonna take the most time probably when you're starting out. Maybe making fans are, but isolation is really tough, so don't worry, that's just a part of the process. Lesson 8.2 is how to properly isolate. So we will put a video while I was talking. Again, there's straight isolation tweezers or curved. Most people start with curved and end up using curve, but we would say buy both when you're first starting out, or go in our stores and try out both, because it's really just preference. Like I have mentioned, use straight. Lesson 8.3 is how to use your isolation tweezers. It's also a video, we'll play it somewhere here, but it does go in your not dominant hand, so usually people's left hand, and it is a tool. You can also use your fingers too to help isolate. So I use my fingers a lot to push the lashes out the way and to get that one natural lash in between the tweezers. And there's a lot of hand techniques too. Some people actually don't even use isolation tweezers, but that's a whole nother topic, and that's a technique in Asia used for manhwa lashes, and I really would say it's only used on Asian lashes because we don't have as many and we don't have as many layers, so it can work. Lesson 8.4, there's a lot of videos in this, so I'll kind of talk over it while the video is playing, but this is the easiest way to isolate. So there's tips and tricks when you isolate. One, you can put a tape, you can put some fans on, and then put the tape here, basically pull it back so that all the fans lift up, and then you can kind of like pull out the natural lashes, so it's easier. There's less natural lashes that you're looking at, as the video will show. Or sometimes people even tape down the lashes and kind of dig out those natural lashes so only a couple are showing up top. Those are some tips and tricks. Even besides tape, people use gel pads to kind of pull it back. But the whole point of that is you want to de-stick the tape or the gel pad as much as possible, so that when you pull it back, it's staying and it's pulling the lashes back, whether it's the extensions or the natural lashes. But when you take off the tape and when you take off the gel pads, it's not ripping the fans out, or natural lashes out for that matter too. Lesson 8.5 is narrow versus wide fans. So we talked about this a little bit earlier already, but there's many different types of fans you can make. You can make a closed fan, which is the hairs are just like this. You can make a narrow fan where it's, a thinner fan overall, and then you can make a wide fan where everything is just spread out beautiful and wide. The fans, it really depends on what set you're creating, what effects you want to make, their natural lashes, what you're working with. So like we kind of mentioned before, if they have gaps in their natural lashes, then you're going to want really wide fans, right, to cover those. If you're creating a set like a wet set or an anime set, then you kind of want more narrow narrow fans, I would say. So you want to do, again, closed set fans. And then if you're doing something like wispy spikes, or like angel lashes, you want them to be completely closed, which again, it's called a closed fan, okay? So narrow fans are just more tightly packed together. Wide fans are more just spread out. The base of a narrow fan is much longer, so it's good in that sense. The base of a wide fan is shorter. As long as you're lash wrapping, either or should have great retention. It's really just what set are you creating. Lesson 8.6 is the pinching method. This is the most popular method for fan making. It's essentially you're gonna go in with your tweezers, grab about a little bit, either midway or a little bit higher up on the lashes, grab it, pull it towards you, hold the pressure so that they're all nice and straight. Then you're gonna use your fingers. You can go this way or you can go this way, whatever way works. But you really kind of use the tip of your, like the top of your fingers right here, and you put it in between and you pinch it. Pinchers, I'm not actually a pincher. Again, we'll have a video playing, but the tip and trick is play with your pressure. I mean, with all of these ways in which you make fans, it's all about pressure. Pressure of your fingers, pressure of the tweezers, pressure on the extensions itself. That is really what you're gonna wanna pay attention to. So pinching, again, is just using your fingers to get that base together. While you're pinching, you kind of want to release the pressure in your tweezers a little bit, allowing for your finger and the pressure to bring them together, and then use the glue to finish the deal as so. The flower bouquet, that or the shimmy method, that is where it is on the strip of lashes. You enter your tweezer into however many you want, again, mid to a little bit higher up on the extension. You use the tweezer and you wiggle back and forth in the middle of the tweezer, and it opens up the fan right there. You pull it off, dip in glue. This one is a very difficult one for some people. I would say if you're starting out, pinching is a really safe one to go to, and most people pinch, but the flower bouquet is a really good one. Also for flower bouquets, a lot of people do like to use the glue trays because you can, if the base isn't perfect or if it's not wide enough, you can dip it in the glue tray and kind of hit the base on that tray, and it opens the fan up even more. That's the flower bouquet method. The shimmying method, that's kind of the method I use, kind of. You have a strip of lashes, you use the tip of the tweezer to kind of pull out however many you want, and once they fan out to the side, you just grab it off, dip it in glue, and put it on. The kind of faster way that I've learned to do it now, this was the original way I was doing it, is I kind of just go in one time, pull it to the side, and then grab it, dip it in the glue ring, and I kind of tap on the glue ring when I dip it so that it widens up. So for my technique, it's literally just grab, pull, grab, pull, grab, pull. But I do that little shimmying movement to the side. Again, we'll have a video playing here, but I feel like that's the fastest method. I think all the shimmiers are the fastest lashers, and it's really because you just rely on the grabbing and the hitting in the glue ring, which is just all about pressure. The lonely fan method, this was a method really popular back in the day, and it's a great method if you're doing Russian sets, which are very uniform, perfect sets. Almost all your fans, you want them to be symmetrical, but it's not as popular today. But you have a strip of lashes, you pull off X amount of hairs, you put it back on to the strip because the strip is kind of sticky already, and then you press the tip of your tweezer onto the base of that fan on the strip, and it opens it up. So think you're just pressing the base and then it opens the fan up like so. Another kind of method to this is the sticky dot method. It's the same thing, you're just not doing it on the strip. You buy a sticky dot and you grab the lashes, put them on, and press the base of it so it opens up the hairs one by one. It's very satisfying to watch people do this because it's just boop, 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 boop. It's also very satisfying to watch. I mean, fanning videos in general are so satisfying, but the uniformity and the perfection of the lonely fan method is, it takes patience for sure, and it will create the most uniform sets. So that's 8.9. 8.10 is about promade versus pre-made fans. So pre-made fans are fans that are already made into a fan ready to go. You just grab them on and put them onto the set itself. They are usually either heat sealed, glue bonded by the manufacturers. So either they're heat sealed, so it's using heat and they kind of melt together and the base is stuck together, or it is adhesive sealed, so they're sealed already and then they're stuck together. But basically anything pre-made or pro-made means that the fan is already there and you're not live making the fan as you go. Pro-made fans are when an artist makes the fans already beforehand and then they use it. So it's still handmade fans, but they are making it beforehand and then using it. For a lot of people, this can cut down the time. And if you're starting out, do not feel, using pre-made, promade fans are totally fine, especially if you're working on building the confidence to make handmade fans on the spot. So definitely look into this. I have definitely tried it out when I first started. When you are making promade fans, you want to make sure you understand what crystallization is. Crystallization is really just sealing your fans together beforehand. So you make your fan, you dip it in glue. Because you're already going to have to re-dip it in glue when you actually apply it onto the natural lash, you don't want there to be so much glue and for it to be so chunky at the base. So you want to slide the fan onto, let's say, a tape or onto something else so that it removes the excess adhesive. Then you've already sealed your fan and it's good to go. We have these boxes you can get. They are pre-made boxes, and you can label the little organization slots for the length that you're using or the curls or whatever it is. So if you know that you're going to create a wispy set and you're creating the wispy spikes and you're creating the fans beforehand, then you can label it all out on there and make sure that they're all in their different spots so it's easier once you actually get to the set. Okay, if you are using a pre-made box or pre-made lashes from us, the best way to grab the fan out, because they're kind of sitting like this on a strip, so it's kind of like the middle of the fan is sitting on there. So what you want to do is you grab it up at the base, you set it back down real quick, and then you move your tweezer to the top where you normally would be holding the fan, and then you dip it in glue and put it on. Because if you grab it from the top, it might rip out some of the hairs and they won't stay together, because again, it's just that middle part of the fan that's touching the sticky adhesive, so there's not so much support. That's the best way to do it. Besides that, you literally use the same method as before. So do your setups, do your prep, do everything normal. You just have these fans pre-done, and it can really, really cut your time when you're first starting out. Or there's just some artists that prefer it that way. The retention, you guys, should not change so long as you're able to, follow the other steps and rules pertaining to placement and isolation and all of that. It should be fine. Yes, you can't technically lash wrap as well, but it is okay as long as your placement is good. So we think if you're a pro-made, pre-made artist, that is totally fine. You are so good, and especially if you're first starting out, definitely give these a go while you're building up your confidence to make handmade fans on spot. Lesson 8.11 is just how to use pre-made fans. So we'll show the video here, but again, it helps with grabbing them out of the trays because that could be kind of hard for people. And then also to make sure that you're crystallizing your promades, that you're storing them correctly. You want to make sure obviously they're sanitized and kept stored away so that no dirt and dust get into them before you use it. And then if you buy, even for example, some brands have those chunks, like those circles, like those balls, and it's just a ton of fans, pulling those out before and setting it up for yourself. That is all part of pre-made, promade prep, but the video will be playing and hopefully that helps show you. And that's actually it in chapter 8, you guys. Am I zooming through this? Or is this just the part that is easier to explain? Chapter 8, you guys, there are so many different techniques, so it is not just limited to the ones we're talking about. Honestly, for us, as long as it's sanitary, it's healthy, you're keeping your clients wishes in mind, whether that's what the set they're looking for, the health of their natural lash, whatever technique works for you, works for you. Of course, pinching is the most popular, and some techniques work better for sets than others, and you could switch it up. But we would say try to practice all of them and see what you gravitate to see what is best for you. And take advanced courses to see how other artists do it, because when you really get down techniques, it could work better for you. It just depends. For me, I went from the full shimming method to kind of just a method, I don't even know if this is a method, but of just go and grab dip. And that is how I've progressed as an artist. But I know people that start with shimming and went to go to pinching, and it changed the world for them. So don't get stuck on one, especially if you're starting out. Try different ones, take advanced courses. We always recommend you take a hands-on portion of this if you haven't yet, or if you already have, go take advanced courses. Education is everything, you guys, and hopefully we can continue to progress with the education we put out too, and we can put out more advanced content, but this is just the beginner. So pause, go take your chapter 8 quiz. As a reminder, in every chapter, you have to get 100% on all your quizzes as one of the prerequisites to getting your certification. So make sure you get that, and then we will be back with chapter 9, which is all about placement. So pause, replay these if you need, go read through everything, make sure you're digesting. It's really getting into the nitty-gritty parts. So it's a lot, but you got this, and I'll see you in the next chapter.